What's up guys? STC Donny here from Team STC. Today we're going to be doing a fuel filter. This just happens to be K&N, you don't have to use K&N, that's just my choice. We're doing the fuel filter replacement on an 05 Cavalier. It's an automatic sedan. It is going to be the same for any jbody from 2000 and up for this kind of connector. The older jbodies from 95, 2000 had a different kind of disconnect. So 2000 up, any jbodies. We're going to get in a fuel filter, something that you should be doing every year or every 12,000 miles. A lot of people forget about this and then they wonder why their car won't start or why it stalls. Because they don't change such a simple part. And don't get ripped off at an auto parts store, we can just do it yourself. So check it out.
If you don't, it will be very hard to take off once you do.
Alright, so you're going to need your fuel filter, of course. You just go to your local auto parts store if you're not sure which one to get, and they will get to you the correct one for your vehicle. Just tell them the year, make, and model. Just say, hey, I got a J-body. They'll probably be confused. So you're going to need a socket wrench, an extension, a 10mm socket. We're going to be using a 17 for one of the nuts, and the other side is going to be a 13/16 on the other side of the fuel filter. So I'll show you right here. I'll take this new one out. On these 03 to 05s, you don't need this plastic piece on these, so you'll actually just end up snapping this right off, and you can just pull it off and snap it. This is just because it fits other applications, this part number, but we don't need this on a J-body. And on this side, see, this fits the larger 13/16, and there will be a smaller 17mm size lock nut, which we'll show you how to spin that off later. But there's your little filter, that's what we're going to put on. Then we got our paper towels because there will be some fuel. Don't worry, fuel does evaporate. Try not to get it on yourself if you can help it. We got safety glasses because of course you don't want fuel in your eyeballs. You only get 2 eyeballs. Don't think you're cool not using safety glasses. Just use safety glasses. It will go wherever it wants when you loosen that nut up. So that's all you're going to need. It doesn't take much for this job. It's pretty simple. Do it yourself. Doesn't cost much either. Let's get to it. Alright guys, we're upside down. We're under the 05. This is your evap canister right here. There's going to be a 10mm bolt on this side. And you can see the slot right here. That's good. You see a slot right here, and it goes right up so you can get your extension in there that I mentioned earlier with your 10mm. And we're just going to go ahead and take that right off. And once we do take that off, it shouldn't drop down just yet because there is a small metal tab on the other side that you have to slide out of to get this evap canister. Race cars driving by. To get this evap canister loose, we'll slide it off that tab, and we'll show you that in just a second once we get this 10 out here. So you can see the 10 is loose. There we go. And alright, here's the little 10mm. Just want to put that to the side. I know I'm not using the magnet tray, I usually do. So what you're going to see the evap canister here, you're just going to push it towards the passenger side. Oh, sorry, towards the driver's side. My mistake, I'm upside down. And this is the little tab that it falls off of. Be sure to put it back on there when you're reinstalling so that it's not just hanging by the 10, because then it will be bouncing around and you'll get check engine lights and all kinds of crap from the evap. So here's our fuel filter. And this is our lock nut on this side. So this is where we're going to put our 2 wrenches. This is the quick disconnect over here. I forgot to mention, guys, you will also need a flathead screwdriver to help you out with this. The thinner, the better. And we'll show you how to do this after. So first we're going to do the nut side, and then we'll do the quick disconnect side. All these GM quick disconnects aren't really so quick disconnects as they say. Sometimes they get stuck, but we'll see how it goes this time. Usually mine isn't too bad, but some are. So let's get to this one. Alright, so I got a couple paper towels. Not that that's going to catch a lot. There's going to be some fuel coming out. Be ready, so try not to be directly under it while you're working on it. Try to stay to the side, because fuel will come out. Make sure you get those safety glasses on. A long sleeve shirt is even better, but you know, we're in Arizona and it's hot. So you just get your 2 wrenches on, and we're going to go ahead and loosen this up. There we go. See that? And then you can just do it by hand. Oh, sorry. And then the gas is going to start to come out. You start to see some fuel coming out. Just loosen it all the way up. It'll start to smell delicious. If you're a race car fan, you love the smell of gas. Even if you're not a race car fan, don't smell bad. Just, you know, don't go around doing it on purpose. So this just slides right out, and there's going to be a lot of fuel coming out. You can probably see the fuel. Don't worry about
petrol waterfalls.
Yeah, and it just try not to get too much on your skin. You know, you can wash your hands with soap and water. I just suggest cold water and soap. Not a big deal. Just try not to get it in your eyes or in your mouth or anything obvious, and let it drip for a second. I like to let it drip out. It's good if you have like a drip pan or an oil pan. That'd be cool too. If you have the car up high enough to throw that under there, but I'm not really worried about it. It's going to evaporate so fast here in Arizona. But it's a good idea if you think a lot is going to come out to use oil pan or something. So I'm going to get as much as I can out of this old filter. And then we're going to work on that quick disconnect in just a second. I'm going to let drip for a few. So now that we have this side loose, which wasn't too bad, right? We're going to work on the quick disconnect side. So what's going to happen is, if you can see this green tab, you're going to use your fingernail or a flathead, and it should pop out. If you want to see that again, I'll do it just so you can see it again. You see this tab here, and then there's a little gap here. You just push on this back one, not the front one. You push on the back one, but now you're going to push on this front one. Okay, so you're gonna take this tab, you push it in and up, and sometimes easier said than done. And the same one over here, you push it in. Try not to push it too hard. It is plastic. In and push it up. And can you see this part that moved out up here? It should lock itself up, and that's the lock basically. So now you're just gonna push. Now that this part is out, can you see that pretty good?
Yeah.
Now, all right. Now you take your filter and hold the line. It's plastic, so be careful. You're gonna push it in, twist, and try to pull it out, and we'll see if it's unlocked. There we go. Take a little bit of force, and here's our old filter. It's still leaking, so I'm just gonna throw it on paper towel so it doesn't go all over the place. Didn't even need my flathead. Sometimes you need a flathead to help out a little bit. Make sure you don't break those tabs. If you break these tabs, you're gonna end up having to cut this and put a piece of fuel line that you can buy at your parts store. And if that does happen, that's okay. You can use the fuel line and clamps. Make sure your clamps are secure, and also don't over tighten your clamps so they don't dig into your rubber fuel line. And make sure when you buy line, it's fuel line, not vacuum line or something dumb like some people do. So just try not to break these, because once you break them, it's kind of done and you have to cut it. So anyways, installation is reversed. We're gonna get our new K&N we have here. And like I was talking about earlier, you see the end of this piece, and see the new one has this plastic piece for other vehicles. You don't need that, so we're just gonna take that off. Usually I do it with pliers, but you just pop it off. There we go. So we don't need that. And we just want to make sure that these match up completely before we go ahead and minus the gas coming out. This one doesn't have gas coming out. These look pretty identical to me, except this one's a K&N. Me and the guys in the STC thought we'd try out these K&N filters, because we usually do the AC Delcos or Fram and, you know, your regular parts store stuff, but figure we'll give the K&N a try since we're performance enthusiasts, and it's a pretty good price too. So this one, to put these back in, we're going to take this male end, and you just pop it in the quick connect. You just push it straight in. You can hear it click, and this part that you pulled out, you just push it straight down. Hear it click, and then you lock this tab back. The one that you pushed out with your thumb at the beginning, you just push it back, it locks. See, you're good to go. Then we're gonna just insert this male end over here in the female. Put it nice and deep. You know you want a STC. Make sure you put it hand tight as much as you can. We're gonna use our 2 wrenches, which was our 13/16 and our 17 in this case. We're going to put the K&N logo down so everyone can know you have K&N, right? Because all the people that'll magically be looking under your car give a shit anyways. So we got to tighten this. 2 wrenches. Be careful. It is some fragile small piping, so you don't want to over tighten it. There you go. And your brand new K&N or whatever fuel filter you want to use is good to go. So we're going to put this evap canister back, and then we're almost done. Alright, we're just going to reinstall this evap canister. Be sure not to stretch it out too much. Now remember, we have these little tabs here that we want to put inside the top of the evap. So it just slides right on. You just got to line it up. Sometimes it takes a second just to line it up just right. There we go. And then we're going to put our 10mm bolt back up in here. So I'm going to grab my extension. put the bolt in the correct side. I'm gonna drop the evap on kickstand almost, and then we're gonna put it back up. Good thing he wore his cameraman helmet today. You guys just can't see it, but it's there. It's there, okay? When you're working around me, you need it. And if I say, look at this, you might end up with a black eye, so watch out. It's happened before, okay? So we're just gonna put this 10 back in. What's the torque spec on this? Tight enough for a tiny 10 millimeter, but not so tight that you break a 10 off, okay? Usually I give you guys torque specs on how-tos and stuff, but I mean, really, this one little bolt, if I have to give you torque spec, I'm sorry. Just make it tight, but don't over tighten it. It's a 10 millimeter, okay, guys? Just a little bit of pressure. It don't take much at all. Yes, the evap canister has a little bit of weight, but it's not super heavy. See? A little bit of torque, not much. There you go. Everything is fastened. You can see the fuel filter back up in there is secured. Everything's good. Now we are gonna go ahead and get out of the car. We will start the car while it's still in the air, and we're gonna check for leaks and make sure there's no leaks, make sure everything is good. Then we'll take the car off the ramps and we're done. So let's go check it out.
We're just gonna start it up, check it out for leaks.
Under here. Seems to be good. See anything leaking? No drops. Good to go.
Alright guys, thank you for watching this video of us installing the fuel filter. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, check out all the other videos on the channel. We got all kinds of how-tos. We'll keep adding more. We're going to be adding more videos real soon from a build series I'm going to be doing. Basically budget Civic build, so
Yeah, lots of fun stuff coming up.
thank you guys.
Later.